Hello, y'all. Welcome back to the YouTube channel called Walk With Me. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope everyone is going towards the right direction. This video is called "The Truth Never Changes." The truth never changes, and the name of this video is that because it's always said the truth, and a lot of people can't really understand what they're talking about. The truth, people mention the truth all the time, and it's hard to really understand what that is and why it's so important. The Bible says, "Seek the truth, and you should be set free." And this is a true statement because the truth never changes. See, we try to take refuge in our feelings. We try to take refuge in our sexual desires. We try to take refuge in the world. We try to take refuge in a job. We try to take refuge in in our feelings. We try to take refuge in our thoughts. We try to take refuge in our ideas. And it's very important to, don't get me wrong, it's very important to guard your thoughts. Guard your mind like you would guard nothing else. Guard your heart like you would guard nothing else, because from your heart flow the springs of life. From your heart, as the heart is, so is the life. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So guard these things. Guard your mind, guard your thoughts, guard your heart. But the truth is such a thing that you could take refuge in, and it's so important to have the truth because the truth never changes. See, if you think about it, you're trying to take refuge in things that are always changing. You're trying to take refuge in a relationship. You're trying to take refuge in a business. You're trying to take refuge in a job you have. You're trying to take refuge in your social status. You're trying to take refuge in a sense of power. You're trying to take refuge in the feeling that you have. But what you have to realize is that all of these things will change. And once you develop that perspective and you think of it that way, you'll start to feel a little bit of discomfort, yes, because it's uncomfortable admitting that these things will change, because you want to take refuge in it. You want to hold on to these things. But when you truly admit to yourself, truly look at it and look at the truth. Don't look at what you want to know. Don't look at what you want it to be like or how you want it to be or the way you would like it to be, but look for the truth. Cast all your opinions, thoughts, and ideas aside and throw them in a garbage can for a while and search for the truth. Because your ideas, your thoughts, a lot of these things are fluctuating constantly. Your feelings, your relationships, your job, your social status, your money, these things are fluctuating constantly throughout your life. There's no refuge there. But the truth was the same a million years ago, a million eons ago, and the truth remains the same today. It hasn't changed, and it will never change. That's guaranteed. That's a promise. That's a promise from God. The truth never changes. That which is true remains true forever. That which is false is subject to change. And we try to take refuge in all these false things and all these worldly things, when you have to realize where are you going in this world. I heard the guy Sadhguru, I talk about this guy a lot. Very interesting dude, very wise guy. He says, where are you going in this world? You're walking straight to the grave. That's all. So your job is to get as much from this life as you can. Find a purpose. Find something that really stirs your soul. Something that really lights a fire within your soul. Something that you can stand with. Something that you're willing to die over. You find that thing, and everything becomes of more use. Everything becomes of more substance. You gravitate towards people that are on the same path as you. Your outward situations become good because you've searched for the truth, and the truth is so good and it's so powerful that it will bring you together with other good people. It will attract you towards the good things in the world. We have to flee these evil ways, because in this world there's so much evil right now. These phones are a huge reason to why there's so much evil. There's so many disgusting things going around. There's so many pitiful things, wars, people fighting with each other, people's pride clashing with each other, sexual immorality at an all-time high, because We have phones and people they like they try to get into the technicalities of things. Like the Bible says this, so they kind of try to find a cheat code around what it says, because this says this, right? So the Bible says thou shalt not commit adultery, so you should not go out and have sex with a woman, or you should not go. But if I get on my phone and I watch porn, that should be okay, because technically I'm not really going out. But this is not how the law works. The law does not work off of technicalities. The law is exact. The law is you can't find a loophole around the law. It won't work. You can't do that. You're only deceiving yourself. You don't deceive the law, because the law stays the same. The truth remains. As it is yesterday, it will be the same tomorrow. As it is now, it will be the same 10 minutes from now. So don't try to find loopholes in this. There's no loopholes. You find the truth. Don't make excuses for yourself. There's no excuse. Never give yourself an excuse. And I'm not saying this because I'm not saying for you to look down on yourself, but allow yourself to be disappointed sometimes when you fall short of what you allow yourself to be disappointed sometimes when you fall short of what you're trying to do. Allow that disappointment to settle in, because once that disappointment of you going against the truth starts to settle in, it's a lot harder for you to do it. And I say this right now, I say that this because this is very important. We should all walk the way towards the truth. We should all do it. Every single human being on this planet Earth should urgently start to walk towards the truth, because a separation is happening right now at this moment. A separation is happening between the evil and between the good and the true, between the evil and the false, and between the good and the true. And you go one way, you choose your route. But I warn you that if you go the way of evil, you will pay consequences for that. Especially now, this is why in these moments where the world seems so evil are the moments that good springs forth the most. In the moments where everything seems so wrong, it gives us a better chance to do what's right. It's a greater challenge. And don't look at that as a reason to be afraid or as a reason to be discouraged, but look at that challenge as a reason to be glad. Look at that challenge as a reason to be happy that it's time for your strength to be tested. And your strength will be tested if you choose to go the right way. If you choose to go the way of good, you will see how weak you are. It feels good. It feels great to know that I am weak. I can say that with confidence. I am weak. I'm so weak. Beyond weak. I couldn't put this any other way. I'm weak. And that admitting it gives me peace, because I'm no longer trying to be strong. I see that I'm weak. But through that weakness, I know that strength will come. For when I am weak, then I am strong. I delight in my weaknesses, persecutions. This is a verse in the Bible. It says, therefore I delight in persecutions. I delight in hardships and all these things, because when I am weak, then I am strong. The truth never changes. Remember that. The world will change its opinion millions of times. It has changed its opinion on different subjects millions of times, because there's evil in it. And evil can never, evil leads to much confusion. Much confusion. That's why the world changes so much, because there's so much evil in this world. There's so much corruption, but you have to realize that this corruption in the world is not physically actually in the world, but the corruption in the world is only a result of the corruption within the minds of the beings in the world. The world is not corrupt, because the world is just there. The world is just it's like a palace, a place to be. The world is our home. The world is our home while we walk in the flesh. This is our home right now. This is our home. It's truly what it is. And at this moment, we have to make it a great home, but we've made it a horrible home. And that's only because the evil within the minds of the people manifests itself as evil into the world, but it starts in the minds of each and every one of us. There can be no evil done in the world if there were no evil in the minds within the people that are in the world. We have so much evil in our minds. We have filled our minds with so much evil. Now that manifests into our actions and it manifests into the world. But now knowing and having that knowledge that since we filled our mind with evil, that's why the world is becoming evil, is because our minds manifest that through our actions into the world. Now we can all start to do good. And imagine what can come from that. Imagine what could come from all the evil we filled our minds with. Now I go the other way. Okay, I fill my mind with good, and I fight against evil like it will kill me. I fight against evil as if it was an enemy trying to chop my legs off, as if it was a murderer trying to shoot my head off. That's the sense of urgency I have when I see evil within my mind. So number one thing is to fight against evil as if it's the last thing you do. And while also knowing when to fill your mind with good. Listen to something good. Listen to some good videos. Talk to good people. Be careful who you hang around, because we all want to say, okay, I don't care. I'm my own person. I do. But come on. The nature of the mind is that it follows what it's around. That's why a lot of people are products of their environment, because the mind picks up what it sees, and then your actions reflect what the mind picks up. The mind puts the things that it sees, the things that it's filled with, it puts that into action. It's a natural thing that the mind wants to do. And if we can fill our minds with good while battling the evil is made to a minimum and the good is made to a high, that's what true freedom is. True freedom is in good and selflessness. We live in such a selfish world today. A selfish world. Everyone's always thinking of themselves. We're always thinking of ourselves, but we're always attempting to get something. Always attempting to get to our next desire, not even thinking about who we can hurt or what we are doing to others in the midst of it. Not for a second even thinking about it. All we see is the next big desire we want. And if someone gets in the way of that, they see a bad side of us. There's a lot of us get in relationships and it ends in destruction because we don't watch how we're acting with the other person. All we can see is what we want from them. We can't see that they have their needs. What do they want from you? That should be more in your mind than what you want from them. What do they want from you? What do they need in this moment? You should think about these things more in a relationship. It's important because a relationship definitely isn't necessary, but it is a great chance for spiritual development because it is hard to resist temptation. It is a difficult thing to resist temptation. And what a relationship does is it offers you that companionship with another, that cultivating of selflessness. A relationship is a great chance to be selfless, to not think of yourself as much, to put the other person before yourself, to nurture them and but to think about them before yourself, to start to do that. This will make a lot of relationships better. Instead of thinking about what do I want from this person, think about what can I give to this person to make them happy. And imagine if both people are on that same page of what can I do for this person to make them happier. Am I paying attention to how they're acting, how they're feeling? Am I considering them at all, or am I just doing what I want to do? Okay, I'm sorry. I really got it. That's why I've been making these videos very short lately because I started rambling. I'm sorry I started rambling, y'all, but I hope that We can change this around. We can turn this around. And I walk with you. You walk with me as well. I stand with you. Stand with me as well. I climb the mountain with you. I lift you up with me. Just lift me up as well. And let's all start to pour into each other. Let's start to give good for good. Let's return good for evil as well. Not only give good to the people that are good to you, but give good to the people that are angry at you, the people that are upset at you. Give good to them. Give good to the one that is sad. Give them your compassion. And overall, number one, give trust to God. Give trust to the truth. Trust in God. Trust in the truth. And you will walk towards places that you've never seen. Your mind will experience a bliss, a peace, a love in your heart will begin to form and sprout up that could come from no one else but the truth. God, the truth. That's all I'm going to talk about. You have a good one.